Every so often the world of sports witnesses the birth of a phenomenon. A player who doesn't just participate in a game but completely rewrites the rules of what is possible for their country. For the Philippines, that phenomenon has a name: Eala. If you have been following the WTA Tour in 2026, you already know that this year is different. This is the year the 20-year-old Filipina prodigy went from being a promising young talent to an absolute force of nature on the global stage. From claiming historic hardware in Mexico to executing a masterclass of total domination in China, and now bringing her fierce left-handed baseline game to the iconic red dirt of the Italian Open in Rome. Incredible 2026 campaign of alexeala. We are looking at how she destroyed my Yamaguchi at the Jinshan International, how she survived a brutal clay court war against Magdalena French, and what it will take for her to avenge a painful past defeat against the formidable 31st seed WangXinyu Music at the legendary Nicola Pietrangeli Stadium. To truly understand the momentum alexeala is riding into Rome, we must first look back at how her 2026 music season caught fire. The foundation of this incredible year was cemented in Mexico at the Guadalajara Open. For years the tennis world has watched Eala climb the ranks. We saw her music win junior Grand Slams, we saw her grit her teeth through the grinding ITF circuit. But Guadalajara was the moment the potential became undeniable reality. In a final that will be remembered in Philippine sports history forever, Eala Music found herself pushed to the absolute limit against the gritty Hungarian veteran Punna Udvardy. It wasn't just a win, music was an epic comeback. It was a showcase of pure unadulterated willpower. Eala captured her very first WTA 125 title, dropping her racket in disbelief music, as she crossed a major milestone for Philippine tennis. This historic victory did more than just boost her ranking, it rewired her mentality. She walked away from Mexico knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, that she belonged at the highest echelons of the sport. She proved she possessed the stamina to survive 3-set wars and the mental fortitude to close out championship points when the pressure was suffocating. But if Guadalajara was a test of endurance, her subsequent appearance at the Jinshan International Tennis Tournament in Hubei, China, was an exhibition of sheer, terrifying power. Let's talk about the match that had everyone talking. Round Music 2. Alexeala vs Japan's Mai Yamaguchi. The headline writes itself. Music. Total domination. Coming off a tough opening round against Belarus's Alyona Fale, where Eala had to battle through 2 tight sets music and a lengthy medical timeout, there were whispers. Was the top-seeded Filipina fatigued? Was the injury, music, going to hamper her movement? Alexeala answered those questions by stepping onto the court and unleashing an absolute hurricane of ground strokes. From the very first point, it was clear that Eala was out for music blood. The 20-year-old Filipina, floating dangerously near the world top 50, music, looked entirely unrestricted. She was a woman on a mission. Let's look at the numbers because they are staggering. In the first set, Eala raced to a 5-love lead without facing a single breakpoint. Her heavy, looping topspin forehand was kicking up violently off the hard court, pinning music, the 26-year-old Yamaguchi, deep behind the baseline. Eala was dictating every single rally, constructing points with the surgical precision of a seasoned veteran. Music, Yamaguchi finally saw a glimmer of hope in the 6th game, earning a 40-30 advantage on her serve to finally get on the scoreboard. But Eala simply shifted into another gear. She erased the game point, attacked the Japanese player's second music serve, and broke her again to seal a 26-minute bagel. 6-love. Absolute perfection. Yamaguchi offered a bit more resistance in the second set, clawing her way to a 4-3 deficit after finally breaking Eala's serve. But a true champion doesn't panic. Eala quickly slammed the door shut, sweeping the final 2 games to close the match in 1 hour and 12 minutes. 6-0, 6-3. It was a statement victory. It was Alexeala declaring to the locker room that she was not just here to compete, she was here to dominate. As the tour shifted from the hard courts of Asia to the unforgiving red clay of Europe, the challenge's music amplified. Clay court tennis is a different beast entirely. It requires elite stamina, exceptional sliding ability, and the patience to construct points that often stretch well past 20 shots. Eala's transition to the dirt wasn't without its growing pains. We saw her face a highly anticipated showdown with fellow left-handed phenom Leila Music Fernandez in Stuttgart. We watched her battle valiantly in Madrid, where she played a brilliant doubles campaign alongside Music, her close friend, Turkey's Zeynep Sönmez, before ultimately bowing out in the singles second round to the defensive masterclass of Elise Mertens. But every loss on the red clay is a lesson. Music, and Eala, a product of the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, knows the dirt better than almost anyone her age. She absorbed the tactical lessons from Madrid and Stuttgart. Music packed her bags and headed to one of the most prestigious and historic tournaments in the world, the Internazionale BNL d'Italia, the Italian Open, Rome. Rome in May is a gladiator's arena. The crowds are passionate, the clay is heavy, and the competition is absolutely ruthless. Alexeala arrived in Italy with something to prove. Music. Last year, her debut at the Italian Open was a rough learning experience. But the 2026 version of Alexeala is a completely different player. In the first round, the round of 128, she drew Magdalena Frek of Poland. Frek is exactly the type of seasoned, crafty opponent who can expose a young player on clay. She thrives on consistency, redirecting pace, and forcing Music unforced errors. The match began exactly like the Yamaguchi demolition. Eala came out firing on all cylinders, painting the lines with her backhand, and serving with pinpoint accuracy. The first set was an absolute blowout, 6-love. Another devastating bagel delivered by the Filipina star. Music. But Frek is a veteran for a reason. In the second set, the Polish player adjusted her tactics. She started using higher trajectories, slowing down the pace, and dragging Eala into exhausting, grueling rallies. The momentum completely shifted. Frek broke Eala's serve, held her own, and took the second set 3-6. Suddenly, we were in a dogfight. Music, a third set on the clay of Rome. This is where physical conditioning and mental toughness are tested to their absolute limits. The third set was a tense back-and-forth affair, but in the crucial moments, Eala relied on her heavy topspin to push Frek out of her comfort zone. Eala converted key break points, serving fiercely when she needed it most. With a final, triumphant swing, Eala closed out the decider 6-4. 6-love, 3-6, 6-4. Eala survived the Polish wall and marched forward. Music. And that brings us to right now, today, May 8, 2026. The stage is set at the breathtaking Nicola Pietrangeli Stadium, an arena surrounded by ancient Roman statues, steeped in tennis history. Music. The occasion, the round of 64. If Wang's able to get this win, she needs to be aggressive and bully Eala around the court. We've seen that Mertens and Ostapenko on the clay courts have been able to bully Eala and really make her play and, overplay a little bit. So, she's really got to be off to a good start with her serve as well if she is going to get the win over Eala again this year. If Eala's going to win this one, she has to be patient and really grind out these rallies. She was playing really well against Frek in that first set. Now, Frek was giving a lot of errors, but Eala really needs to be patient, but also attack when she can against Wang on this clay court if she's going to get the win here. Fun matchup here. Really good time for these two to have this rematch because Eala's obviously got a little bit more confidence than maybe last year on clay. Wang is looking for confidence. I'm going to go with Eala in a close 3-setter. I reckon she will get the revenge and she will get it done this time around. So, I'm going to go with Eala in 3 sets. Let me know in the comments below who is going to win this one. At the Italian Music Open, the opponent, the 31st seed, China's WangXinyu. This is not just a second-round match. Music. This is a highly anticipated rematch. This is about redemption. Earlier this year, during the Australian Swing, these two warriors clashed. Music in the semi-finals of the ASB Classic in Auckland. It was a brutal, physically punishing encounter. WangXinyu, currently sitting comfortably inside the top 35 in the world, managed to edge out the Filipina in a nail-biting 3-setter, 5-7, 7-5, 6-4. It was a heartbreaker for Eala, a match that slipped through her fingers by the narrowest of margins. WangXinyu is a formidable obstacle. After receiving a bye in the first round, music. The 24-year-old Chinese star is fresh, rested, and ready to deploy her aggressive flat-hitting game. She has elite music power, a massive first serve, and she knows exactly how to pressure Eala's backhand. But alexeala has the momentum of the clay court beneath her feet. She just battled through a 2-hour war against Freck, meaning her eye is dialed in and her movement on dirt is already calibrated. To win this match, Eala must execute a flawless tactical game plan. Wang wants to play fast. Music. Eala must play heavy. Eala has to use that Nadal-esque left-handed forehand to rip high-bouncing topspin cross-court, forcing Wang to hit balls above her shoulder. Eala must protect her second serve as Wang is known for stepping inside the baseline and punishing weak deliveries. Most importantly, Eala cannot let Wang dictate the center of the court. She must use the wide angles of the Pietrangeli Stadium to run the Chinese star side to side, testing her lungs in the Roman heat. When you watch alexeala play, you aren't just watching a tennis match. Music. You are watching the culmination of thousands of hours of unseen sacrifice. You are watching a young woman who left her home country at the age of 13 to train in Spain, trading a normal childhood for the grueling, solitary life of a professional athlete. Her game is a beautiful contradiction. On the outside, she is incredibly calm. She rarely shows frustration. Her face is a mask of intense focus, analyzing her opponent like a grandmaster at a chessboard. But beneath that calm exterior is a burning, ferocious desire to win. Her footwork is immaculate, gliding across the clay with the grace of a dancer, yet planting her feet with the explosive power of a sprinter. Her backhand down the line is a laser beam, and her forehand is a heavy spinning weapon of mass destruction. But her greatest weapon, it's the flag on her chest. Every time alexeala steps onto a tennis court, she carries the hopes of over 100 million Filipinos. In a nation historically obsessed with basketball and boxing, Eala has single-handedly carved out space for tennis in the hearts of her countrymen. When she plays, the Philippines stops to watch. When she wins, the entire archipelago celebrates. She is more than an athlete. She is a trailblazer. She is the pearl of Philippine sports. The 2026 season is far from over. Whether she is lifting trophies in Guadalajara, handing out bagels to opponents in Jingshan, or sliding into forehands at the Italian Open, one thing has become absolutely clear to the rest of the WTA Tour. alexeala is no longer just a rising star. She is here right now. She is a threat, to anyone on any surface on any given day. As she prepares to step onto the iconic clay of the Nicola Pietrangeli Stadium to face WangXinyu, the world will be watching. The history books are wide open, and Eala holds the pen. Will she avenge her loss in Auckland? Will she continue her march toward the top tier of the tennis elite? If her performances in 2026 have taught us anything, it is to never ever bet against the pride of the Philippines. The court is swept, the net is taut, the stage is set. Let the battle in Rome begin.